If you've been following Canon's camera roadmap, you might have noticed something unusual. The long-awaited Canon EOS R7 Mark II seems to be facing a delay. What was once rumored to appear shortly after the R6 Mark III is now reportedly pushed back, and that's left many photographers and videographers wondering, why the delay? What's happening behind the scenes at Canon, and what does this mean for the future of APS-C mirrorless cameras in Canon's ecosystem? Today, let's dive deep into the story, the reasoning behind this postponement, the likely new specs, and how this decision connects with Canon's broader strategy in the competitive camera industry of 2025. The Canon R7 Mark II was initially expected to follow the successful R7, which became one of the best hybrid cameras for creators needing speed, autofocus precision, and lightweight versatility. The Mark II version was supposed to build on that foundation, introducing a new stacked APS-C CMOS sensor, enhanced dual-pixel AF2 or 3 system, and potentially even a Digic X2 image processor. However, according to reliable insiders and reports surfacing throughout 2025, Canon's internal priorities have shifted, and that shift has directly impacted the R7 Mark II's production and launch schedule. One major reason being discussed among Canon watchers is the underperformance of the Canon R50C, a compact APS-C box-style camera aimed at video creators. Released earlier this year, the R50C was expected to appeal to vloggers and filmmakers who wanted Canon's color science in a small, modular format. But the problem? It didn't sell well. Its lack of a viewfinder and somewhat limited sensor performance made it less appealing than expected, especially compared to more established options from Sony and Panasonic. According to some internal chatter, Canon noticed that models featuring traditional viewfinders, like the R50, continue to outsell viewfinder-less designs by a wide margin. That trend has likely made Canon rethink where to focus their APS-C efforts going forward. This has a direct connection to the R7 Mark II delay, because Canon may now be reassessing how much investment to pour into high-end APS-C gear. Their engineers have been working on balancing sensor cost, autofocus performance, and market demand, especially in a landscape where full-frame cameras are becoming more affordable. The R6 Mark III, for instance, is rumored to use a new 33-megapixel sensor with readout speeds rivaling or exceeding its predecessor. And if that same sensor, or a variation of it, is repurposed for the R7 Mark II, Canon faces a tricky balancing act. How to maintain clear segmentation between APS-C and full-frame cameras without cannibalizing their own higher-end lineup. The R7 Mark II was initially thought to share some DNA with Canon's Cinema Eos C50, which also uses a super 35mm sensor, a slightly larger format than typical APS-C. Had Canon decided to bring that tech down to the R7 line, it could have created a powerful hybrid body for both photography and filmmaking. But recent internal shifts seem to have redirected that sensor toward other models like the R6 Mark III, which now takes priority in Canon's release calendar. This effectively leaves the R7 Mark II in development limbo until the company finalizes a new APS-C sensor that doesn't overshadow their more profitable full-frame lineup. Beyond production strategy, Canon seems to be facing another challenge, deciding whether the R7 Mark II should embrace stacked sensor technology. Stacked sensors, as seen in models like the Sony A9 III and Nikon Z8, dramatically improve readout speed and rolling shutter control. However, this kind of sensor also raises production costs. If Canon equips the R7 Mark II with a stacked or partially stacked APS-C sensor, the price could jump significantly, reducing its appeal to enthusiasts who see APS-C cameras as a more affordable entry point. And that pricing dilemma may be one of the biggest reasons Canon is waiting before committing to final specs. At the same time, there's growing evidence that Canon's focus has shifted toward full-frame dominance. The company's latest releases, such as the R8, R6 Mark III, and the upcoming R5 Mark II, all target mid to high-end users who demand full-frame performance. This signals a strategy that prioritizes high profit margins and professional appeal, leaving APS-C models like the R7 Mark II in a less urgent position. That doesn't mean Canon will abandon APS-C altogether. Rather, it means the company wants to ensure its next APS-C flagship delivers a clear, differentiated experience rather than just being a smaller full-frame camera. Another factor worth mentioning is autofocus performance. For years, Canon's dual-pixel AF technology has been a benchmark for reliability and precision. Yet, as mirrorless technology evolves, smaller sensors face physical limitations. Autofocus systems on APS-C and micro four thirds cameras often lag behind those on full-frame systems, especially in low-light or fast-action scenarios. This makes it harder for Canon to justify marketing an APS-C camera as a professional-tier performer, especially when full-frame. Models like the R6 Mark III are closing in on similar price brackets. Many professionals have observed that APS-C sensors are slowly losing their place in the premium mirrorless category. During the DSLR era, cameras like the Canon 7D Mark II or Nikon D500 were celebrated for offering pro-grade performance in a smaller format. But the mirrorless transition changed everything. Autofocus modules are now integrated into the imaging sensor itself, meaning full-frame cameras enjoy both larger light-gathering areas and faster, more accurate phase detection. As a result, APS-C bodies can no longer easily match full-frame performance, no matter how fast their processors are. This technological shift might explain why Canon is being so cautious. They've likely realized that launching the R7 Mark II too early, without a meaningful jump in real-world performance, could backfire. The company would rather delay the release than risk criticism for incremental updates, especially at a time when Sony, Nikon, and even Fujifilm are pushing innovation aggressively. The Fujifilm X-H2S, for example, uses a stacked APS-C sensor that delivers blistering readout speeds and near-perfect autofocus tracking. If Canon wants the R7 Mark II to compete with such cameras, it must be built with a next-generation sensor and a stronger video pipeline, possibly supporting 6K RAW or 10-bit 4.2.2 recording at higher bit rates. But Canon's unique advantage lies in its color science and processing pipeline. The Digis X processor has already proven its power in models like the R5 and R6 II, offering incredible detail retention and low light control. If Canon introduces a newer version of this chip, say Digic X2 or an updated imaging engine optimized for machine learning-based subject detection, the R7 Mark II could become a true game-changer for sports and wildlife shooters. Still, Canon's long-term goal appears to be consolidating its full-frame dominance while keeping APS-C as a secondary option for hobbyists and semi-professionals. This could mean that the R7 Mark II may not launch until late 2025 or early 2026, after the company finalizes the R6 Mark III rollout and possibly announces the long-rumored Canon R1 flagship. For creators waiting on the R7 Mark II, the delay might feel disappointing, but it's also a sign that Canon is being strategic rather than reactive. The brand seems to be rethinking how it positions APS-C within its mirrorless family, especially now that AI-powered autofocus, real-time subject tracking, and enhanced video codecs are becoming standard even in entry-level full-frame models. So, what can we expect when the Canon R7 Mark II finally arrives? Most likely, a revised 32-33mm APS-C sensor, improved rolling shutter performance, deeper buffer, enhanced AI object recognition, better thermal management, and support for Canon Log 3 in video mode. If Canon implements these features alongside a redesigned body with improved ergonomics and possibly IBIS-tuned for video, the R7 Mark II could easily become one of the best all-around hybrid cameras on the market. Ultimately, this delay might be a blessing in disguise. By taking more time, Canon can ensure that the R7 Mark II stands out not just as an upgrade, but as a meaningful evolution of what APS-C can be in the mirrorless era. A fast, reliable, and smart camera for creators who don't need full frame but still demand excellence. Whether you're into wildlife, sports, or hybrid filmmaking, the R7 Mark II will likely deliver when it finally lands, and when it does, it could redefine Canon's approach to crop sensor photography for the next decade.